Hi there, and hello everybody. Welcome back to another edition of Deconstruction Junction podcast. I'm Dr. Flo, never telling you what I heard, but what I know. And here's what I know, beloveds. You are loved and lovable. I am loved and lovable. We are loved and lovable. We've always been loved and lovable, and we're going to be loved and lovable for the rest of our days. And I'm grateful to have the tools and the technology and the technique and the talent and the tenacity to keep showing up for the things that I really want from this life. I'm also thrilled to have support from collaborators like the amazingly talented Tara Priolo studio, who has been with us for the last 138 weeks, spreading the gospel of peace, spreading the gospel of love, spreading the good news that dreams can come true if we believe it.
Yes. If we just believe. That's Christmas. Sorry.
Christmas is every day if you believe it so. We'll talk a bit later about what a gift it is to believe that you can ask for help and receive the help that you're looking for from infinite sources.
Then.
Infinite sources. Would you be a dear and introduce yourself and your love and your light to our live audience that I see? Shout out to OG over on TikTok.
Hello, puppet.
This is Tara. Tara typically sits in the TikTok audiences. This is her last episode on this side of having a baby extraction. She's going to be having a baby extraction on Monday. And then she's going to take some time for maternity leave to tend to that which is extracted. And then we'll probably see her back in August, September, and onward, being a mother.
Correct. As long as y'all behave yourselves, okay?
She'll come back only if we
digging
behave.
into those limiting beliefs and holding on to them. Don't be toxically shaming people out on the internet. Don't be coming in people's comment sections being mean, okay? That's all, however many thousands of you that are in my comment sections right now. We don't need that.
They're just craving attention.
They are. And some of them are going to get it.
They're craving the attention that their mothers did not give them.
But I give my toddler so much attention. And this baby is going to have like a whole week at home with me by themselves.
It means that your children will probably not grow up to call strangers names on the internet.
I hope not. And if you do, or if they do, I hope that the other person said something first.
Do you think the people who are calling you names under private accounts, do you think their moms know that they do this to other people online? Or what percentage of people?
I think some people are raised in that way. Like, I think they watched their parents do it, and that's why they have learned to do it. And those are typically the kids that you see on the playground that are the bullies, right? They're typically the kids that you see in the principal's office in high school. They're the kids that are getting suspended and having in-school suspension for bringing baby oil in and putting it on the stairs, because their parents, it's not that their parents are necessarily not present. It's that they've learned that behavior from somewhere, right? So could either be an older sibling or the parents themselves or like whatever. And I think the other part of it is just like their parents don't know who they grew up to be. Or maybe they didn't have parents, maybe they were maybe they were in foster care, maybe they grew up with, you know, auntie and uncle and grandma that weren't giving like loving care.
Maybe they were raised by a dragon in Westeros.
Yep, we do have House of the Dragons on the list today, so we will visit Westeros because I'm still thinking about it. So I know that y'all are still thinking about it. And the internet is she's still a flying with House of the Dragon commentary. But anyway, I'm Tara Priolo. I'm your resident Black, biracial, multi-passionate musician. I talk about the ish that nobody wants to talk about and push you to do the same. I help you make the intangible tangible and release the entanglements that you and others have placed upon your voice. And I do that at the intersections of voice and identity. So that's a little bit about me. I shared this out to my broadcast channels and my threads and things. And yeah, like Dr. Flo said, this is the last time you all will see me for at least a month. I'm going to try to not rush back this time. The last time I was on maternity leave, I definitely think we did a DJ like 2 weeks after, 2 or 3 weeks after I had Piper. And so I'm just trying to give my body the chance to heal, give myself a chance to learn how to be a mom of 2 and not feel like I have to come back in order to like continue. Like it'll always be here waiting for me. You know, it'll be here because it's something that I've chosen to build. So yeah, that's that. That's my intro.
We got some exciting podcast guests coming up over the next month or so to help bridge Tara and baby formula and breast milk shenanigans. So stay tuned, folks, for those announcements because they're going to be here helping us to continue to shape this ecosystem of hope and love and continue to help us craft this underground railroad of hope and love because TikTok is asking me to pay $20 to have people pay attention to me. And I'm like, yo, love is still free, bitch. That's crazy.
And you don't have to
I
pay
wish I would pay money for friends. But I feel the same way about paying money to get a TikTok audience as I do about paying money for ass.
Mm-hmm.
I've never paid a cent for ass.
Right.
Anyways, speaking of expensive ass.
Right. Very expensive. Very expensive. I have brought to you all the Obama Presidential Center opening. And we have some commentary next. I have 2 links. Both of the pictures go to, or should go to, a video.
Struggle with politically is reconciling my feelings about Barack Obama, because on the one hand I'm like, he was the American president, all American presidents are genocidal maniacs, he set the stage for Donald Trump, like that's on one hand, and then on the other hand I'm like, Barack, Michelle, like when I saw Sasha and Malia yesterday I was like, oh my god, the girls are so cool. And I struggle so much with it because I am a Black American millennial person. Like Barack Obama was the first president I ever voted for. Like who he is just like, and what he represents for Black Americans and Black American progress. Like it is so hard to even verbalize. And I think so much about, I was in Brazil in like 2015. And I was staying with an Afro-Brazilian family and visiting like favelas where black Brazilians were living. And there were pictures of Barack Obama everywhere. Like, and it was like, because, and it's like, even like in another country where like, he, you know, it's like, because who he is and what he represents like for Black people, not just in America, but like globally in a lot of ways, like it is hard to truly like communicate what that means. And as we're seeing all these images about the Obama Presidential Center open up, I can tell how like all these cultural feelings I have of like the reverence I have for Barack Obama are coming up, and how that's existing simultaneous with like reading from Chicagoans, from Black folks on the south side of Chicago, and they're talking about the displacement that they are either experiencing or expect to experience as a result of this center opening. And like how we wrestle with both of those things, I think is really important. And so I think for me, what I'm always trying to do is like both like hold space for like the reverence that I feel for Barack Obama culturally and like what I understand him to mean as a symbol of like blackness both in America and globally, and also be able to like hold to account like how his failures as president have set the stage for where we are today. And I think we have to reckon with both of those things, or at least I do, simultaneously. One thing I really struggle with politically is reconciling my feelings about Barack.
Thank you, Dr. Amber. Let us hear from an Obama herself.
Hello, everyone, and what a beautiful day, right? Nothing like a project by my husband to bring out the sun. So please indulge me for a moment, because I'm going to take a little time to do something that I know my husband will not do today, and that is to fully sing his praises. Barack, you gotta look at me. You told me all those years ago that you couldn't promise me the world, but you could promise me an interesting life. And of course, you outdid yourself and managed to give me both. I know it hasn't always been easy, but there hasn't been a single second through this experience that standing by your side hasn't left me in awe. 8 years in the crucible, and not once did you melt from the heat. Not once did you let it harden you. Instead, you used it to reveal your truest essence, your stubborn optimism and unflinching courage, your dazzling brilliance and unpretentious decency, your ferocious work ethic, and absolutely unshakable moral fiber. And to do it all as a first, and the higher standard that comes with all that, the claims that a U.S. senator and constitutional law expert wasn't qualified for the job, the lies about your birthright, your faith, your patriotism, the outrage when you stated the biological fact that if you'd had a son, that he too would be black. Yet, you were unflappable at every turn, always focused, always calm, always looking at the long view. How absurd it is to even imagine that you might have buckled under the pressure even once, lashed out in frustration, lost your temper. How absurd it is to imagine that you might have done anything but make our family and this entire country proud. No, you were too busy. I'm not done, y'all. Not done. So much to say. You were doing the people's work, rescuing our economy, expanding healthcare, ending a war, ordering the Bin Laden raid, saving an auto industry, winning a peace prize. Keeping us safe from Ebola, regulating the banks, standing up for marriage equality, listening to science, and comforting an entire nation in the face of unspeakable tragedies. And you did it all with such grace and class and cool that you made the hardest job in the world look like a walk in this beautiful park. Your mother, Toot, Gramps, you are a tribute to their love. They are up there grinning and hugging today because you never forgot who you are and where you came from. Single mother, working hard to get by and get an education and show her son the world. Grandparents who didn't have much, but they had the perfect recipe to nurture your flame. You never forgot the folks in the union halls and church basements here in Chicago, where you first put your ideals to this test. You never forgot all the voters you registered and students you taught and neighbors you organized. You never fell for the temptation of a quick fix or an easy payday. You never changed from that idealistic summer associate who showed up on that rainy day when we first met without an umbrella. You always gave us the very best within you. And in doing so, you reminded the rest of us that we could too. Barack, there are no words to express how proud I am of the way you showed up and continue to show up every single day. It has been an honor to be by your side. You have made me a better person and have given us all an example that we should strive to emulate. And I hope you know, there is truly no higher calling than that.
Okay, I know
Hello,
that was
everyone.
long, y'all. I know it was long, but I don't know. There's something about the Obamas, you know, like Dr. Amber was saying. There's something about the Obamas. There's something about like watching him like go like this to his little eyeball.
They are part of, and we all are part of, an imperialistic regime.
Correct.
And their messaging on hope and the energy of I can,
Yeah,
and
yes, we
supporting
can.
one another. You want to talk about receiving hate and vitriol online and in real life. They were standing behind a wall of bulletproof glass.
Yes, they were.
She did that whole speech from behind a multi-inch panel
Also,
of bulletproof.
it does make me a little bit sad when I hear Michelle speak, not just about Barack, but like, it makes me so sad that there was so much vitriol in office towards them that she's like, I will never be in office because of what Barack went through, because she is a beautiful speaker. Like, I love a Michelle speech. Even more than I love a Barack speech. Like, I love me some Michelle down.
He is the second best speaker in that house.
Like, truly. I love me some Michelle. So like, it does make me very sad sometimes that like we're not going to see her necessarily on like the biggest stages like Barack was. By her own choice, y'all. Like, she has repeatedly said she's never putting herself in there. But yeah, I do like, in reconciling the office, like Dr. Amber was talking about, it's like, yeah, the office of presidency in this imperialistic, colonialistic world that we live in as United States citizens it sucks, you know. And bless the Obamas. And they opened that center on Juneteenth. So happy Juneteenth, delayed Juneteenth, and congratulations to the Obamas and spending a whole bunch of money on opening that center. Oh, and there's a picture of the building, in case y'all were wondering. That's what it looks like. I forgot I brought that.
It is 4 hands coming together to create the walls of the building.
It's cool. It's really cool.
It took me a long time to see what that was.
Yeah, it's a really kind of interesting building, isn't it?
Yeah, it wouldn't have been my first pick for design, but once again, I don't have a presidential building named after me.
Right. Well, and they're looking to keep promoting unity and hope and, togetherness and all that jazz. So,
How do you feel about this reflecting pool in DC? As of 10 a.m., June 24th, no fencing and no algae bloom, but the water in the reflecting pool still appears inky black. The dark blue coating, where it hasn't peeled off, makes the pool look like Squidward's toilet after a Jägermeister fueled bender.
I just got to be really honest that like I don't care. Like I've never cared about the reflecting pool. Quite frankly, I kind of forgot it was there. I think that for those of you that have read The Hunger Games, like it is the classic example of what the Capitol does to just like waste resources, um, and reap resources from the colonies, which is essentially what The Hunger Games is about, but from states. And so like I don't know, there's a bunch of people online like trying to make a big deal about the baby duck that died, in the reflecting pool. And I'm like, can we care more about, I don't know, today is the anniversary of the Dobbs decision. Can we care more about the pregnant people that need abortions that are dying because of them? Do we want to talk about Adriana Smith again? So I struggle to care, because I also know that all of everything that Trump does is it's both a brilliant marketing hack to get the news back on him and also a distraction from something larger that he's about to do. Right? So like I just don't care about the reflecting pool. That's how I feel about it.
Yeah, it's a very interesting thing that people care more about a pool of water than they do about universal health care and feeding everybody and making sure that Americans have a quality of life. It's absurd to me to care about a body of water that brings no sustenance to the people.
None. Yeah.
And,
It's just
and, and it doesn't pass the what's in it for me test, does it?
at all. And it's so dominant in like at least the online sphere, right? It's such a dominant story right now. And I'm just like, don't we have better things to talk about? Don't we have better things to talk about? Like
Things like
House of the Dragon, or in AAVE, it has become House of Dragons. It premiered, y'all, on Sunday. And Dr. Flo and I watched it in a watch party. And the only way y'all are going to get my commentary, my husband just texted me something very out of context. Anyway, the only way you're going to get my commentary on House of the Dragon is if you all come to the watch parties with us, which the only one I may miss is the one on 4th of July weekend, because I will have just had a baby 6 days before. So we'll see how that goes. But if you go to the next slide, I think I have threads about this. All right, we got to make it big because my eyeballs are not that good. All right, so first we have a picture of Raina, who had a she had a rough episode, okay? And she is looking roughed up, okay? And it says, me working today and we are bereaved. I'm sick of the emails, man. Then we have a picture of Rhaenyra, who is one of the stars of the show. And it says, that's it. After the first episode of season 3, King Rhaenyra can Dracarys whoever she wants, and I'll support it. I fully agree, including Rhaena and Sheep Stealer. I'm so sorry. Anyway, I will hear the next picture is a picture of Sheep Stealer, who, for those of you that don't know who Sheep Stealer is, this is a dragon that we came to know a little bit better in this episode, who has a massive underbite. Like this dragon needed an orthodontist back in the day. Okay. And it says, I will hear no sheep stealer slander, please. My beautiful baby. And it has little bows on sheep stealer. I am still like very angry with Jace. I'm going to try not to spoil it too hard for y'all, but like, why did he not go down and cut that anchor rope? And why did Reyna ride that thing into battle? And the incest of it all. I saw a clip of the actor or of Allison talking about it. Whatever her name is. I was gonna call her Amelia, but that's not her name. That's Danny. Anyway, she was talking about it, and like she was like, yeah, we were trying to make it seem like super special because it would have been his first kiss. And I was like, I am disgusted. I'm disgusted. That's all.
She was rightfully so weirded out by it in her character because it's his mother.
It's gross. It's gross. So yeah, it was a great episode. I would recommend, like, I mean, we said it after Sunday night watching it. Like, that was one of the best episodes of a Game of Thrones show since like the actual Game of Thrones was on, you know? Mm-hmm. And like early seasons of Game of Thrones. Like it was a very good 72-minute moment. It was very good. And Daddy
me screaming at the TV.
Yeah, like heavily. Yeah. Somebody was like, the sea battle didn't even look that great, and I was like, what were you watching?
The Battle of the Gullet.
Like, what were you watching? That was the best sea battle we've gotten in ever. You know?
I've been watching this show. You've been watching this show for 15 years. Top 5 episodes up there with Arya killing the Night King. I mean, epic storytelling. Thank you more, please.
We'll see you next week.
See you next Tuesday. Okay. Heading out to my For You page over on Threads. Interesting. King World, which is a production company, by the way, their most successful series financially in 1993 was The Oprah Winfrey Show, which contributed about $185 million, or 39% of the company's revenues. Winfrey's talk show has the third highest ratings among first-run syndicated television series. It was started in October 1988. We knew she was enormously talented, Epstein says. We didn't think her show would be as nearly big as it has become. King World apparently has Epstein ties. Are you surprised?
No, not really. I mean, I feel like we have this like fantasy, like I feel like the obsession with the Epstein files is because some of you out there like still believe that corporations can be good.
Mm.
And like that the people running corporations are good people, or that there's like a handful. It's like how some of you are like, it's not all cops, it's not all men, it's not no, it like truly it is all corporations, and it is all CEOs, and it is all men, and it is all cops. Like that doesn't mean that we're not going to call on them for help. It just means that I think we need to not be so shocked that like the whole upper echelon of people that we don't even know the names of are in some kind of closed ring doing really inappropriate things and illegal things, right? You don't get that kind of money by just existing, you know? So I guess that's my commentary on that. I didn't even know that. I didn't know the name of that company. I didn't know anything about that. I was not an Oprah show. I'm not really a talk show girly. So like that's not my expertise, right? But I didn't know the company existed, but it doesn't shock me that there's ties to Epstein, or if there were ties to Weinstein, or if there were ties to, other major breaking stories. What is this person
Another
doing?
story coming out of Threads today. A mother's split-second decision may have saved her child's life during a residential fire that filled an apartment with thick, toxic smoke. As flames spread and visibility dropped, Vanessa Scott was forced into an unthinkable choice, dangling her infant out a window, keeping the baby below the rising smoke line until help could arrive. The image, now circulating widely, has struck a nerve online as a raw, unscripted moment of maternal instinct under extreme duress. That's wild.
Yeah, it is. It makes me think of things that happen only in movies,
Right. Wild, wild, wild. Okay, you got some ICE updates for us?
Yeah, and I actually have a positive one.
Great.
So if we go to the next slide, this is the biggest news of the week. At least here, that over a dozen cases have been dropped against Minnesota protesters accused of assaulting federal agents during the ICE operation. So that's pretty darn tootin' big news. On the flip side, on the negative side, I believe it was Texas, where there were two protesters have been sentenced to 50 years in jail because of protesting ICE. But once again, if we turn the coin over, all of the charges against the Minnesota, like Walls and Ellison and stuff, all of those charges, a federal judge ordered to be thrown out. So things are moving in the courts. None of this is to say that people are not still being abducted, and there have been very quietly in Congress some concerning things, such as a return to not being like you can be deported without having a trial. So they can just take you and move you somewhere, which is not great. And there's some other things. So once again, like positive news, because these are being dropped, and there's no reason, like we did not see protesters attacking ICE agents. We saw ICE agents attacking protesters. So, someone is watching the video evidence, of which there is so much to get this done. So that is good. And I hope that we can continue to push for the detention centers to be closed and get all of the people help that need help, because people are still dying in the detention centers, and kids are still being harmed in them. So that's not a great situation.
Heading back out to Threads for a brief bit to see what's on the minds of the people. Ben Jordan says Amazon Prime Day used to be about family in Christ. Now it's just a bunch of corporate bullshit. How do you feel about Amazon and Prime Day and stuff like that?
I'm going to say what I say about most sales. I would rather, like, I will always buy from a sale. Flo knows this because I literally sent him a text the other day and was like, it's the semi-annual sale at Bath and Body Works. Boo boo, you want something? What can I get you? You know, it's like there was a Juneteenth sale at Juvia's Place, which is a black-owned makeup company. What I will say about sales, even though I buy from them, is I wish that the prices were just the sale prices all the time. Because what it tells me is that you can actually sell that product and still make a decent profit without charging more for it, right? So that's one thing. Number two, it's very American to have something like that. And I just don't. We've talked about this before in terms of boycotts, but I think there's this moral superiority complex that comes up every time we're talking about boycotts or where people should spend their money. And I don't think there's a deep enough understanding of how we care for the community if we're going to boycott something like Amazon, which is a terrible company, don't get me wrong. Like they're not doing great things with the billions that they're bringing in. And they employ hundreds of thousands of people. So if we don't participate in buying from them and all of those people get laid off, how are we caring for those people?
We want the things that we want, and someone has
Right.
to bring it to us, and it has to be provided from somewhere. It's like,
right. And eggs are not getting any cheaper at the grocery store. Eggs are still $2.99. You know what I mean? Like, so it's just like when you think about the ramifications of it, it's just like, okay, is it worth it? How does it serve me to be angry at Amazon daily? And the answer is it doesn't really serve me to be angry at Amazon daily. Do I attempt to find things at other places? Yeah. Are there absolutely things that I need that are only sold at like a Target or an Amazon? Yes. Right? So I think we have to get out of a little bit of the binary thinking of it all. I don't really care about Prime Days. I don't think the deals are that great. I think that if you have a product that you want from Amazon, put it in your cart and have your Alexa notify you when it comes down to the lowest price, because it's usually not during Prime Days. It's usually some random day in October. That's my advice to you.
when they need to make that extra money.
Yeah. Yeah. Like my espresso machine I bought in the middle of January because it was like $170 off, which was cheaper than it was during Prime Days and Black Friday.
Very smart. Very smart. Oh, I was going to play this
business. I'm not having it. To never be afraid, because I was so terrorized by him. Whether he meant to do it or not, I'll never know. But he sure taught me that if you try to terrorize me again, well, we can't say that on public radio. What I may do to someone who tries to hurt me again in this business, I'm not having it. I should be respected as I respect, and I will not have someone try to ruin my spirit and ruin my career. If Clive Davis, if his plan was to destroy my career, it didn't work. Davis taught me to never be afraid, because
the things that have been coming out about Clive Davis since he went to see Jesus. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah. I mean, once again, though, like, are we shocked that he was a horrible human?
I'm not shocked because I
I'm
understand the
not.
industry and I've been a part of the industry and I know how these people act in
Right.
real life.
Right. I'm not shocked at all. Like Clive is okay. To me, if it happens in the opera industry, a very niche industry, and like everybody at the top is just as bad as like these people that we're talking about, it is no surprise to me that a Clive Davis would be among the bad ones. You know, it's not a shock to me.
There are a lot of bodies in the wake of that guy. And I'll never
Yes.
forgive him for leaving Whitney Houston's body up in the bathtub while throwing a party. And she was one of his flagship talents. Fuck Clive Davis forever.
Rest in peace, as you say.
Rest in peace. We're calling for ceasefire around the world and for us to do our best to make the world a better place in our communities and in every area that we touch. If you want to commit to building instead of harming with us in the network, you all know where to find us. Send us a message through lovedandlovable.org, lovedandlovable.org, lovedandlovable.org. We've got programs for you, free private memberships and VIP add-ons. One of our lowest cost and most affordable memberships right now is $10 a month. It will allow you access to the best of education and care. We also have daily peer support happening on TikTok twice a day, if not more, and affordable premium services to help you lift your dreams. Web resources also now available. You can find those at the top of AskDrFlow.com, AskDrFlow.com, AskDrFlow.com. I'm also hiring for Dr. Flow and the Love Experience and some duo work to start to move the music along because music brings me joy and I seek to give it back to the world. What you got going on, Tara Priolo?
Well, just because maternity leave is happening does not mean that things are stopping cold. I will be supporting my Liberated Voice Practice membership community via some scheduled posts, as well as when I start to feel better, some dedicated warm-ups and live streams, etc. That is $25 a month, but you can get a week free inside. Starting on July 6th, you just go join the waitlist at tarapriolo.com/links. Also, I Dream a World and the I Dream a World archive are still going. I'm still raising funds. We're about 10% there to $1,000. And you can listen to that at tarapriolo.bandcamp.com. I just scheduled in 30 or 40 more posts for the project archive. I did that last night. And then also just keep an eye out. Sometime in July, I will release the documents from the Negro Spiritual Intensive. It'll be a lower cost. I'm sure that I'll still get vitriol online about like a $25 cost, but whatever, I'm used to it. And then last, I just put on there maternity leave. So once again, I'm having a baby on Monday, if not sooner. I'm pretty solid I'm going to make it to Monday, but we'll see. You never know. Excuse me. So I will be probably around the lives, but I'm not going to be specifically coaching. My social media content will be pre-scheduled and I will just be showing up when I feel like showing up. And most of my content, like in real time, will just be posted later on. So I'm not going anywhere in spirit, but once again, I am trying to give myself a little break in terms of working all of the time. So that's what's happening in TPS, and stay tuned because I do plan to launch some other wait lists over the summer and over the maternity leave. It's just not going to be right away.
All right. Thank you for the updates. Any closing thoughts from you today?
I hope you all go out and make yourselves happy. And you quit trying to come into people's comment sections and make other people unhappy. I
True
really
joy.
like my wish for you is that this life. Do you know that song?
Rascal Flatts.
Yeah. All that you wanted to, the worries stay small, the dreams stay big. Anyway, that's what I wish for all of you, because at the end of the day, y'all, so many of the people that we meet online, so many of the people that are in comment sections doing the hate, so many people are just arguing for the limitations of being happy and joyful and at peace. And like it is possible even with the world around us. Like it just is possible. And I would love for you all to cultivate the belief that it is possible. That's all. That's my closing thought from today.
True joy and true peace is the ultimate lick back on those who seek to disturb it. Hope y'all enjoyed today's pod. On behalf of all of us, stay in your power, stay in your joy, stay loved and lovable. We'll see Tara on the opposite side of her maternity leave. And find out more about us at lovedandlovable.org, lovedandlovable.org, lovedandlovable.org. Take care.